So we're going to learn Torah Ayin Tes in the Likutei Moharan, the first part. It's 79. We are doing this for the sake of all the soldiers who need to shmir Aliyona and they should be successful in this war, specifically Baruch Rebbe Nachman and all the people that have sent me names I'm having in mind as well. DJ Hudakris sent me a whole list of names. Kesselman has a few names. There's a lot of names going around and trying to have them all in mind, as well as my daughter, my youngest, Mindel Tova Bas. Masha also is her bat mitzvah, and she should be blessed, and people are being kind and supportive, and we thank them. And we're learning Torah Ayin Tes. Why? Because it's B'tach B'Hashem Aseh Tov Shochin Eretz Urei Emunah. We will get back to Torah Mem Zayin. I mean, it is connected because we did have this pasuk come up from the famous Psalms I mentioned. Oprah's favorite Tehillim is Tehillim 37, Psalms 37.
Yeah, but what's more important than B'tachon right now?
Oh, so Munah, B'tachon, and the whole thing of trusting in Hashem and doing good. This will nourish our Munah. We'll just bring in the table closer. Okay, good. Hine Klaus. We already did the first part. We're just going to summarize. A beautiful concept that by us looking at the good, that looking at people in such a way that doesn't prevent Mashiach coming. We all want Mashiach to come. Everyone's having a feeling right now. The Mashiach's on his way, and the whole energy in Eretz Yisrael is that feeling. And we said Mashiach is connected to Moshe, and especially in this week's Parsha Noach, where we see a comparison between Noach and Moshe. In fact, it says in the Shemesh Shmuel and the Svarim Kedoshim from the Arizal, the idea that Moshe was a Gilgal of Noach. He was a Tikkun of Noach. They were both born Moel. They're both born without any Ola, without any need for a Bris Milah, even though I think they still do. Even with such a case, you still do some sort of basic ceremony of...
Nowadays, yes, but
yeah.
then...
Maybe not. No. I don't know. But they were born with Moel, Moshe, and they were born with light, and Noach represents the concept of Shabbos, Menucha, and Moshe Rabbeinu is Kulu Shabbos, as we're going to see in a minute. There's going to be a connection between Moshe and Shabbos. They were also, both of them were asked to save the generation. Noach didn't. Moshe did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's the chiluk. The Moshe was, and we learned here, the Moshe Rabbeinu was able to be Moshe Nefesh for his generation, completely. As we said, Macheni na Mesifracha, which is also the same osis Macheni as Mei Noach. We're just summarizing the previous Torah at the time we learned this, and we're going to take it a bit further. The Mei Noach, the waters of Noach, is the same osis as Macheni. Moshe Rabbeinu was willing to give up everything. I said that over from Shlomo Kalibach. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to give up everything for Am Yisrael, and in that power he had the shiftless, he had the anivus. We mentioned the shiftless. I said to someone today that Rosh Tevis Pischuli Shari is Rosh Tevis Shofel, which is the shiftless we're talking about. When I open up the Shari Tzedek, you have to be a shofel. Yeah? And we said be'emes, shofel be'emes, not be'emes shofel. We have to be truly shofel, like humble, not because we're just a lowlife. Yeah, and that's the kotzkavul. And then we got to this idea that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to see the good in everyone, because once you're in the level of shiftless, you see the chashivas Yisrael. This is where we started there. It's around 10 lines down in the Torah. Yeah, you see it? Chashivas Yisrael. Yochel Moses nafsha ba'adam. Emasai yochel rosh shifloso b'Shabbos. Now this is where we connected it to Shabbos. You're able to see the shiftless in the power of Shabbos. Ki Shabbos ne'ema ro ki Hashem nosa lachem es Shabbos. Hashem gave to, Hashem saw and gave to them the Shabbos. So there's a connection with seeing and the gift of Shabbos. Shabbos, now this is where we got to. Remember this?
We didn't get this far yet in the last time.
Yeah, we just touched it. Yeah.
So I was already...
yeah, we were already like...
I was already like 1 foot in the...
Yeah, you were like walking towards the Sibor of Shirat David and Marev, if Shlomo had already walked in. Ki Shabbos hu Shin Bas. Shabbos is the Shin Bas. Now, this is really important. Yeah, I once heard from a tzaddik. I was translating from Yiddish to English for Matis Yol, a famous singer. He not that he was a tzaddik, maybe he is in a hidden one, but maybe he was at some point. Maybe he was doing tshuva. I don't know. But he came in to a tzaddik, and he wanted me to translate, or someone needed to translate for him. So I translated him from Yiddish to English. And the Ret Tzaddik was saying, but it was Shabbos Bereshis, and he was saying, Shmi Bas. Shmi Bas. Shmi Bas is the Indian of Shabbos. The bas kol of Shabbos is a voice that comes out. Here, that's what to do with hearing it. Shmi bas, listening to this voice that comes out from Shabbos. Here, he's saying a different Torah of not just hearing bas, but shin bas. It's about seeing it. How? Because shin is talos gavin de'ina. It's the three colors in the eye. Yeah. Someone here said last time there's four.
It was
Mr. Rich. Mr. Rich, but I didn't see that in Svarim. So maybe he saw it somewhere, but I've only ever heard this concept. There's three colors in the eye. Yeah. I'm open-minded if there's a fourth, but based on the Torahs I've learned from Shama Munim and other Svarim, there's three colors. Now let me explain. This is important. This is deep, and it will make a change in your life when you think about this. Because one of the things when we're learning, we have to realize, and how this can be relevant right now in the Moharan and the war that we're in, and all the challenges we're going through, is that when we get these concepts clear, they're very panemius, deep ideas. The bas ayin, the concept of being a bas ayin, we start to understand how special Am Yisrael, the greatness of Am Yisrael, how beautiful we are. We start to understand, and we start to internalize these deep concepts that we're given over that the whole world doesn't know about. Yeah, even Dr. Jordan Peterson, I mentioned him the other day, I gave him praise, is with as great as his mind is, he didn't get to the level of understanding a concept like this, because this is panemius. This is like Kabbalah. This is the deepest of deepest. And Rebbe Nachman's putting it on the table for us. He's giving us access to the deepest concepts. And what we have to do with the Tzaddik Emes, Rebbe Nachman, Ben Fegen, Nachman Ben Simcha, just enter into his Torahs. Yeah, it's Chusanenu. We have to enter his Torahs. So what's this idea of these three colors? We have the white, the green, and the black. Yeah, we're going to see a little bit more in a minute what Moharan says about it, but I just want to give you the concept that I remember learning, and it would just help us understand Rebbe Nachman a bit deeper. So the white is chesed, of the eye. Everyone has a white part of the eye. The green is Tiferes, is the idea of the land. The white is the water, and the inner essence is what? Is the black part of the eye. That's Gevura. Now, if you want to connect it to our forefathers, Avram is the white, Yitzhak is the black, and Yaakov is the green, the Tiferes. Now, if you want to connect it deeper and start explaining it, the white represents the water. The green represents the land. Now, ultimately, the world was one. And it says when Mashiach comes, the Midrash says, when Mashiach comes, the whole world's going to come together as one land. It's not going to be these 7 continents. It's all going to move into somehow, if you look at it, it's like a puzzle.
I believe it was originally like that.
They talk about that in, it depends, in the geography Svarim and
Yesh Omrim.
The science Svarim. I don't know why I'm calling them Svarim. The books. It's like a puzzle. So I once saw an actual picture of someone demonstrating how it can move back together and how originally it moved apart. So I believe it moved apart certain times in the Torah when it talks about the Dor Flug, when he separated, and Dor Flug, he separated everything. So the idea really, all the world's meant to be united as one land, and ultimately that will come again. And what that means is obviously the ultimate yichud, the unification. Now, what's the center? The center is the black. That's Gevura. What's that? What's Yitzhak represent? Avoda. Avram is chesed. Yeah, he's doing kindness, which is everyone's doing right now. Tiferes is what we're doing now, learning. Torah, connecting into the emes, that's the land. That brings substance and value to life. It makes life purposeful in the world that we live in, purposeful Torah. And then Avoda, the most intense part is the Avoda, place of Mokum and Migdash. The base of Migdash, Yushalayim is Pashet, out through it. It's going to spread out through all of Eretz Yisrael, Kedushas Yushalayim, and Kedushas Eretz Yisrael is going to spread out all of the world. The whole world is going to become one Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. There's going to be no Chetzlayos. Yeah?
Can't wait.
And the Kedusha of Yerushalayim is going to be all of Eretz Yisrael. And look, I suppose the Kedusha of Beit English would be all of Yerushalayim. Now I didn't hear, but I'm just guessing. Okay, the idea, the black part would be this intense place of Avoda. Okay? So now we understand how every human being is walking around with the blueprint. We got pretty good
seats if that's the case.
But everyone's walking around with the blueprint. Even it doesn't matter where a human is. Once a person's made, as Salam Alakim, he's made like the image of God. Every single human, even Machshamam Hamas, who've taken that image of God and ruined it in their actions and the way they've been polluted in their essence to become so negative and evil. But at the end of the day, even them, they were made in the image of God. As much as they've ruined it, the Salam Alakim, they still have the essence of an eyeball. An eyeball contains within it the blueprint of humanity that ultimately will all unify, not like what they're trying to do. Yeah. So the idea that everyone has in it the essence of this unification that's going to be like Asalava of Mashiach, but maybe everything's going to be unified. The land, humanity, and it's all going to come to center around Avodas Hashem, of serving God. And everyone has that unification of kindness, Torah, and Avodah. Everyone has within him the essence of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Everyone has within him the Avos Kedoshim. When you look in someone's eye, you're seeing that truth. And that's a very deep concept. You start to realize that every human being is made with that deep emes. And it starts to change your whole view of looking at people, yeah? That's why I wanted to explain it, because I think it will make a difference. So Rebbe Nachman says it very bekitzer, very short. It's a shin talas gavin de'ina. There are three colors in the eye. Yeah, it's Aramaic, yeah? Gavin de'ina. But bas ayin. Bas is the bas ayin. Al kem b'Shabbos yochel rois shifloso. And on Shabbos you're able to see the lowest, because of his shiflus. You're not seeing shiflus, you're able to see in the merit of your shiflus the true vision, this shin bas, these three colors in the eye, this whole concept I explained, the depth of humanity we really are, yeah, that we're godly, yeah, and that's why he's explaining it, this concept of bas ayin. Bas ayin is like this preciousness of the eye. Who's the most precious to Hashem? The daughter. Yeah, my daughter's bat mitzvah today. So I'm tuned into the bat mitzvah, the bat ayin. Every daughter's precious to her father. You'd do do you have a daughter?
No.
So
all boys.
So to explain that feeling, having a daughter is different than a son.
Yeah.
A daughter, you'd want to kill someone if they try to do something to your daughter. Yeah. Your son, you'd say go beat him back up. Yeah, which is what I've done in the past. And my son in the army, he put a paedophile in hospital one time. And the police didn't even prosecute. Nothing happened to him. And he saved the whole community from this paedophile. Beat the crap out of him, excuse my language. And that's my son. My daughter did not. My daughter's not built that way. Maybe there are women nowadays, I don't know. But my daughter's not built that way. She's more edel, more gentle, more sensitive. She didn't beat him up. She hated him maybe, but she didn't beat him up. And anyone who ever did anything bad to my daughter, the natural feeling is to go kill them. It did actually happen that someone tried to do such things to my daughter. And my son told me that if I see that guy again, I'm going to kill him. Thankfully, he hasn't seen him, and hopefully it will never happen. Okay? Because I don't want my son to go to prison. But the point is that guy, Hashem should keep him away from us forever. Okay, let's go weiter. Der Bas ein, al kein b'Shabbos yochel levois shifloso. Zel, shavu ish tachtav. And return this man unto him, ne'emar b'Shabbos. Hainu tachas medragoso, that he goes under his level, shofel mimar shehu. So this is the idea. Person's going under his level. What does that mean? He's able,
smaller.
Yeah, say again now.
You're making yourself smaller.
Yeah, and the idea, like the turkey prince under the table.
Yeah, but for doing it
you
for
heard
the
that
right
story?
reasons. Yeah, sure.
He's able to go down.
This is the guy who's going under the table.
So I'll make a confession. I watched the Netflix thing. I don't have Netflix, but someone in my family does, so I use their thing. And I watched the whole thing just to keep relevant. Why? What did I watch? I feel bad saying it. It's SEX Education, that's the name of the program, yeah? And I had to fly through it because there's so much pieces and nonsense in it. But I got out a lot of concepts of how fallen our generation is.
Totally.
And the fact that these I mentioned it in my shir yesterday with Bnei Akiva, so you can hear me confessing it already to Bnei Akiva boys. And I did it because I wanted to show them that I'm with you guys, yeah? I'm not talking.
We know what's out there.
I'm not going to bring. I've got this little pamphlet here from the Piskei Tshuvas. Maybe I'll learn it with someone in the basement at some point. But it's the Lashon, the Shulchan Aruch Mishnah Berurah Siman Reish Mem on Kedusha v'Tahara. Very high madrega. I'm not going to bring that to the Bnei Akiva boys about only in the dark and all these high levels and after Chatzos and Shabbos Kodesh. I'm not going to bring it to there, yeah, because they're not even like one, they're not married, but two,
your head is facing.
But two, they're not like they're like Hashem, they're just not the generation. Like one of them said he just finished watching the whole thing, and I asked him honestly. I said, "Tell me the truth. Like, what do you think? I mean, I thought by the end of it, it's like got so nonsensical, like so fantastical, like so ridiculous." He said, "Yeah, that's exactly." He said it before I even said it. He was like, "Yeah, it wasn't even real anymore. It wasn't even real life." And I said to whoever watched, I said, how many of those relationships by the end of this series, it was 4 series, loads of episodes, how many of those relationships were happy, solid, together, like healthy? None of them.
None.
And that's like the whole, like almost everything you could watch on Netflix is basically that kind of degradation of Kedusha and Tahara, of holiness and purity, and there's no Kiyam, there's no Bayis Nema B'Yisrael, there's no eternal house of happiness in these homes. They're all broken, and the only thing they come out with is that they're very proud about their broken relationships, that they've got this new woke value system that gives them no happiness, no relationship, no nothing. What do they get out of it? Ability to like fit in the cool crowd. That's about it. Yeah, and that cool crowd, a bunch of miserable nebuchs. Yeah, so to say.
Miserable.
So, and could be suicidal, could be mental health crisis, etc., like the world is in.
They don't make
taking
TV
medication
like they used to.
Yeah, what happened to when I grew up? We had the Golden Girls.
Okay, but like there were other
I mean,
programs.
I'm not that old, but
I also like the Golden Girls, by the way. But there were other programs
The
that were like
values.
wholesome family
Hallmark.
TV.
You ever watched Hallmark? I asked her.
That's like the most extreme.
I was
of
by a
like
Syrian
wholesome.
family, and he says he has a TV in his room. I said, so you're a from guy, yeah? So, and you at late at night watching TV, okay? So I said, what can you watch that's kosher? Tell me. He said, Hallmark. I said, all right, I'll give you that. It could be that's
That's
kosher.
like the most extreme case,
Yeah.
right? But there was like warm, like situational comedies that were like age appropriate for like families to watch together.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I don't, you know.
Okay, it could be some of the B'nai Akiva guys are listening to this, but the point is, what I'm saying is that I wanted to be relevant to them. That was my effort the last month. Maybe I got a little bit of enjoyment, not really. Most of it was nonsense, and most of the time I was watching, I was doing other things and forwarding it half the time so I could get through it as quick as possible because it's a bunch of nonsense. But my main point is that you have to go onto their level on some level. Otherwise, how can you help them? How can you lift anyone up? Like I for sure know all the Rebbes I've ever been to and Tzaddikim had to come down a level to talk to me and my family, or even more my father when he came. My father comes in, just did a Bruce Springsteen concert that Shabbat, and he's talking about tennis players in Israel and like nothing to do with the Tzaddik. And the Tzaddik's like surrounded by Sfar and Kedoshim, and the Tzaddik had to somehow like find a place that they could bridge, that they could connect. Otherwise, it's like two worlds, So it's like this is the avoda, that we have to be humble enough to be able to connect and lift up the people by going onto a lower level. Seemingly, we're not going down levels. We're just allowing ourselves to go under a level, to be on a humble place, so we can see that the higher level that these people are on. And that's what I try to say to the B'nai Akiva boys. I said to them, you just went through Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and even Simchat Torah, now war. Elul as well. It can't be none of you have come to some sort of moment of clarity or connection or truth. Yeah, all of you have, and they all admitted, and everyone shook their head. At some point, they had some moment in this Tishrei where they felt connected. Yeah. Either the kotel or at someone's home, or they were standing in prayer in their shul or whatever, or they were like they made a choice not to do something bad when they could have, and they felt more connected to God from that. Whatever it was, like every person has his moment, and that's what you have to focus in on. Yeah, that's how Hashem looks at us as well. He chooses into that part of ourselves that's connected. Al kol ponim el yotze ish mekoima. Nevertheless, you shouldn't go out from your place. You hear that? You go down, but you're still on the high level, like the Tzaddik. Ha'lamala midregoso kigon osa ma'aseh zimri mevakesh schar kepinchas. Yeah, for example, someone does the act of Zimri, and then he goes and requests the merit of like Pinchas. It's quite a statement. Yeah, okay. So we know what Zimri did. He was busy with Cosby. We know. Shiksa. Yeah, sorry to say it, but she was like the queen of the shiksas, and she was getting the Am Yisrael to do Bnei Yisrael to do Avodah Zarah in order to lie with her and that kind of stuff. That was what the Midianites were doing to us, trying to make us fool, and the Moabites, and together they brought that about. And Pinchas came and did the opposite. He came and took a spear, a ramach, and put it through Cosby and Zimri, as it says in the Torah, and he was fixing that chait. So you can't get the reward of Pinchas when you did the act of Zimri. It doesn't make sense. So when are you able to see in your humility on Shabbos? When you do tshuva shlema. Now, I always find the shlema concept a little bit difficult. remember Nissim, like he had his fake Facebook account, Amunah Shlema. It could be it's still around. But like he uses it just for like, to do his work without, being there. Years and years ago, he had his own, like everyone else, had a normal Facebook account where that's how I actually found him, was on Facebook, and that's my first contact with him was through Facebook. But so then Facebook was created for something positive. But, he then changed, I think, to some name, Amunah Shlema. But Amunah Shlema is like a high level, like what it means to have complete faith. It's something you should daven for, pray for. And tshuva shlema as well. It's a very high level. What does it mean to be completely shalom in your tshuva? Try to work that one out. But that is what we have to try do to get to this level of humility. Yeah, she Shabbos k'mo shekosev shavta ad Hashem elekecha. That Shabbos is like it says in the pasuk, you shall return unto Hashem, and it uses the lashon of return is also the same lashon of Shabbos. Yeah, so Shabbos and tshuva are connected, as you all know. Tshuv hey, Shabbos, shin bas, all these concepts. Shavta is the same lashon as Shabbos. Asvan didain ka asvan didain. Okay, this is now a little bit. Honestly, this Aramaic, I don't always get every single word. Maybe if we had the translation, there is somewhere here in the Beis Midrash, hopefully an English translation. But asvan, the letters are with us, like the letters are with us. That's how I would understand the Aramaic here. Yeah, or like us, didain. Didain is with us, I think, and asvan is letters, I think, Osius.
76?
Yeah, 79. Could be they haven't translated at that point. They have? Thank you, Rab Chaim Kramer and Breslov.org for translating, because I need help with this Aramaic. I can pretend I know what it says, but let's actually get what it says. Because, you see, Asvan is the idea of, I think, Osius or As. Didain is Didain, like Netzach Didan, we are successful.
I feel like it feels familiar from Kegavna.
Yeah, Didan. It's Aramaic. Okay, Kituran. Why does this not feel like the right Torah? Ein Test.
70, right?
Yeah, 79. It doesn't feel like it's the right one.
Why? Because it's 2.
Oh, the Kituran 2. Yeah, we need Aleph. Sorry, that's the wrong book. Remember, the Likutei is divided into 2. There's the Likutei, the main one, and then there's Tanina, the second one. So we need the first one. Wow, I didn't realize he's translated so much of it already. He's probably on his way to finish it. Maybe he has. It could be they've finished it. I think they're doing other big projects as well. I was thinking about working with them and helping them with it, but it didn't happen as yet. Maybe one day. Anyway, just so we keep the shirt going.
Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
The idea that I'm just going to read ahead and maybe we'll figure it out. Ki yesh shnei tshuvas. There are 2 kinds of ways of doing tshuva. This is really important because everyone in Klal Yisrael right now needs to do tshuva. I know we're in Chodesh Cheshvan and all right, we did tshuva Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Tishrei. Obviously, it wasn't the best tshuva because we wouldn't have had to gone through what we went through, such a war. If we really did tshuva shlema on Yisrael, then we wouldn't have had to go through this.
Their letters, the letters are the same.
Sorry to say that.
Shavta, you shall return.
Yeah, the letters. That's what I said, pretty much. Yeah,
that is what you said.
Thank you, Hashem. So I'm not so dumb, and Hashem gave me tzat shmaya to understand Torah somehow. Key in the schus of everybody listening, maybe. Knei shuvas achas. One is that shnei bnei adam osim ma'aseh matan. So this is where it gets interesting. There are people that do business. Yeah. Everyone thinks. I was listening to Moshe Weinberger just now. He said, when you do business, you think it's not such a big zach. Like I'm just working in some, like he said, his father was cleaning stains off clothes, things like that. All right. Or if it's like for you building a kitchen, like it's a Jewish kitchen, so it's holy. It's going to be used for kedusha and Shabbos and kashrus and all the beautiful mitzvahs that you're busy with. But you could sometimes say to yourself, this feels a bit mundane. Yeah. So Weinberger said, no. Think about it. All the money that you get from it's going to be used to support chinuch, Shabbos. It's going to do staka. It's going to help other people who's learning Torah. It's all going to come holy. Everything that you're doing. So, yeah, not a small thing, even a little bit. Everything we do. So we'll be right back. We're here back again, yeah? It's like a Joe Rogan podcast. You just go off and make a bathroom break in the middle.
Modern technology. You can pause. It's like it never even happened.
Yes.
I was learning this in the Tanya the other day. Just the same thing that you were saying a second ago.
Well, I said Martin doing work.
Whatever it is that you do, when you give tzedakah.
Oh, yeah, I remember this Tanya, yeah.
So
the chiyas, the energy, the life, that's what it says in the Tanya. The chiyas, the energy that you put into it, gets an aliyah because of the tzedakah you do.
It raises it all. Yeah. It raises all the mundane.
It's a beautiful Tanya, very important.
To the fifth.
So you're running, you're walking, so you're not running. You're walking to the emptiness of this world, yeah? Like heavily, it's like empty of this world. And suddenly comes upon you, you find it in the middle of it, you find yourself having thoughts of tshuva, and you start thinking, wow, like I remember once I was sitting in my office working for corporate, and that day you had to do BRB. You had to write BRB because every second you're getting another call, another customer, another this, another meeting. If you don't write BRB and they start, they'll see, they're watching you, the QA, quality control, whatever they're called, are watching you.
You're clearly wasting time.
And they're like, suddenly you stole like 5 seconds of our business, so now you lose this and lose that, you get in trouble. So you have to write BRB just to go and go to the toilet. You have to give permission every single time. You have to write it on the chat. And I remember it was getting to a point where there was so many things like this, so many unhealthy realities. Like we had half an hour to do Megillah and Purim. I mean, come on. Or like Chol HaMoed, or Erev Shabbos, hours of sitting there in this office going nuts. And I got to the point I started screaming to Hashem, save me from this work. This can't be, came to this world to become this person who just sits and works in slave style and has to justify every single move I make. Because I'm a frum Jew, I want to serve Hashem as well. I understand there's a responsibility to my employer, but to the point where I even these once in a while mitzvahs that Jews have to do, there has to be some little bit more acceptance, etc. And I was screaming to Hashem, and it wasn't the only issue. There was they take money off if you did this and did that, and I was you can't penalize people. Life's hard. I need every shekel, and they did. And and sometimes there was bonuses which I should have got and didn't get because mistakes in the system, and you're just oh, this is killing me, this job. And people took ideas of mine and got promotions for my ideas and never gave me credit, all the corporate Shem Shemenu stuff that goes on. And I was screaming to Hashem, you got to get me out of this. Can't be. This is my tachlis. And Nissim was telling me, Nissim Black, scream. It's to my own concept, Rebbe Nachman. It's like a song, scream to Hashem. I was screaming until Baruch Hashem. I ended up getting a job offer in Yisrael. Started working in Yisrael, ended up getting an apartment in Yisrael somehow. Ended up working, Nissim Black was working in the studio over the road, and he came into the shop day after day, and we schmooze. We were old friends anyway, because from 2011, but we were schmoozing at that time as well. And from the Facebook, we already known each other. I'd already even hosted him in an event in Beit Shemesh by that point. So we had what to do with each other, and he was just Eli, you need to be my manager. And it changed my life being a manager in Nissim Black, because then me ended up being a manager for Voice for 5 years, and all the music stuff I've done, and events and programs and things I've done over the last 7-8 years. That screaming in that room got me out of that room. Baruch Hashem. So we have to sometimes, but he's going to say here, there's going to come these moments of tshuva, hiroi tshuva. It's very important. We're going to have these thoughts of tshuva. Right now, I'm sure loads of people are thinking thoughts of tshuva. Now the question is what to do with the hiroi tshuva. That's what we're going to learn. Yeah, what to do? How do we deal with this? Hiroi tshuva. And then you go back to the chicken nugget, as Nissim says. Yeah, you go back to the whatever you're busy with. The angels are running and returning, which this connects to the Torah Vav as well. We're going to get there hopefully one day. We'll go back to Torah Vav. But the idea of the Chayas, these holy angels are running and returning. This is one of the deepest concepts. We know it's from Yecheskel and Novi, that he's describing the angels in the higher realms, how they run and rest. Chayas, these high-level angels, Chayas, and we know from the Baal Shem Tov, this also represents our heartbeat, that it beats and it rests, it beats, it rests. And that's the essence of a Jew, the Yiddish heart, that we're running, we're returning, we're resting, and we'll be able to serve Hashem in that kind of spirit. Yeah. She'ein lo nacha ki pam tamei v'pam tov. Kosher v'posel. Asa v'muta. Zeh b'china she'shemei chol. Avo tshuva shlema hu b'china Shabbos. So during the week we're running, returning because we're out there in the business. Come Shabbos, it's now a time of kulu kodesh. Everything's holy. And now it's a time of complete tshuva. Whereas during the week, you can't really get to complete tshuva because you've got the kosher pasul, the asa muta, you're dealing with tamei tov, you've got the 6 days of the week. Yeah, it's very challenging. And the ups and the downs, you read as Aliyahs. Come Shabbos, hopefully, you have an opportunity now to tshuva shlema. Sheish lo nacha. Now we've got rest, full rest. Ki bo Shabbos bo menucha. Come Shabbos comes menucha. Yeah. So, this is a famous concept. Come Shabbos comes menucha. Rashi in Bereshis, pasuk beis. Yeah. Sheyesh lo menucha mikol v'chol. There is in it in chapter base, pasuk base. Sheyesh lo menucha mikol v'chol. There's menucha in everything. Nidei chara legamri. Then you're able to push away the bad completely. Yeah. Teda nemona. And know this, that tshuva shlema hu b'china Shabbos. Ki isa b'midrash Rabbah. It says in the Midrash Rabbah, Shipoga Adam Rishon Nakayin. Here, this is the last week's Pasha, and we just had Rashi as well.
I'm learning.
Still in Bereshis, good.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at right now in Likutei Moharan as well. Everything's connecting. They came along Adam Rishon and to Kayin. He met them. Shalom ma nasin b'dina dincha. Yeah, and he says to him, "What did you do to end up in this place of judgment?" Yeah, v'heishav lo she'asa tshuva, that I did tshuva. Yeah, he says back to him, I did tshuva on my judgment. Yeah, imkach tachiv chela tshuva, pasach ama mizmo shelim Shabbos. So that's what. As soon as Rishon heard that Cain, after all the judgment that he'd been involved with, killing his brother Hevel, and he had to go out into Golas kind of thing, in exile with a letter on his forehead and everything, comes on him and asks him, says, what did you do? Yeah, he says, I did tshuva. Imkach tekiv chele did tshuva. And what did he say? Pasach Amma Mizmor Shelim Shabbos. Mizmor Shelim Shabbos, Psalm 92, is a whole psalm of Adam Rishon being misoira from Cain doing tshuva. It shows you that the first man, David HaMelech, who brought down the psalms, and also they say the 11 psalms from Psalm Sadik 90. The 90th psalm is written by Moshe, so it's Tefillah Moshe, and all those 11 psalms after that are from Moshe Rabbeinu until Ivdas Hashem B'Simcha. I think that's the last one. So Mizmor L'Soda
90 and another
to 100. It's 100 to Psalm 100. Yeah. So 90 until Psalm 100 is all from Moshe Rabbeinu. So the 8 so Ivdas Hashem B'Simcha is from Moshe Rabbeinu. David HaMelech, obviously the one who brought it all together, but the concept of the tshuva connects in.
The Tefillah Moshe goes for.
So Mizmor Shelim Shabbos was also written by Moshe. So, but who originally wrote it? Adam Rishon. So we're learning here. And who brought it down? Moshe Rabbeinu. And then who brought it together into Psalms? Tehillim, David HaMelech. It's all for Ruach HaKodesh. They're all connected, all the Neshamas, all the Tzaddikim. Yeah, so they connect in Torahs. They connect. Yeah, there's a shtalshalis. That's the word of Torah, as well as there is a shtalshalis. Transmigrations. I finally got that word. I was trying to translate shtalshalis for ages with Chaim over there. Transmigrations. That's the word. They go. The Torah goes. It continues. The Chorah Ma Inyan Shabbos. What is the aspect of Shabbos Etzel Tshuva?
That's great.
What?
Transmigration.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah, for this.
Fi Dereina Mechuvan Hativ. Yeah, it's a bit of a deep concept, but we'll try to think about it. Remember, when we learn these things, we might not always get them straight away. But when we're standing there on Shabbos, and we're saying Mizmor Shelim Shabbos, and suddenly remember that we learned this week, suddenly we start to understand a little bit.
I've heard Shlomo say that
Shabbos.
This is, that I've heard before. This is not the first time I'm hearing this. I'm learning it. Yeah. But there's an unbelievable, when Reb Shlomo used to sing, the story of creation story. There were a couple of times.
I love that.
A couple of times when he would there was one recording once. I used to work with Reb Shlomo back in the day.
Yeah.
20 years ago, when he was getting started on
all the Torahs of Shlomo.
Yeah, he would gather all the tapes and I would digitize them.
That's how I'm one of the first times I heard about him.
Yeah, so I was doing it a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And I would sit there, and I didn't do anything fancy. I literally just had a tape player
with a
double micro jack going into computer and like recording in GarageBand. No messing around, nothing. So I had to do it in real time. So Baruch Hashem, I got to hear a very great deal of Rav Shlomo Torah.
It's amazing.
And one time I was, I think it was like it's definitely Los Angeles. I want to say the year was like 1967, and Rav Shlomo tells over the story of creation, and you
sing the song of Shabbos.
That's right, and he gets there and he
whole
goes
wide world.
It's the best rendition I've ever heard. And he says, "In the sixth day," he goes through the days of creation, and Avram taught, and then he goes, and then he says, "And the sixth day was a long, long day," and he breaks down the 6 day hours. By this time, this happened. By that time, this time. And by 4 o'clock, they were all ejected from paradise. And the first day that Adam Arishon was standing there.
And we're going through that now in real time in Tafshin Pei Dalet.
This is the greatest.
Because the 6th day is connected to the 6,000th Menelim, which is where we are now.
So perfect. Rav Shlomo says it like this. He says, and they're kicked out of Gan Eden, and they're sitting there on the gates of paradise, and the sun starts to set, so it starts to get dark for the first time, and they all think that it's the end of the world. And Pitom, sun sets, and everything starts to sing. The valleys and the trees and the mountains and the grass, everything starts to sing the song of Shabbos. So he says, Shabbos, Adam Rishon.
Shabbos. So I think we should end on this point, because I do have another chavrusa with Rav Chaim, and we don't record, so just that's it goes straight up to Hashem. No recording device, Baruch Hashem. But the concept of tshuva and Shabbos, so we're coming hopefully to another week. Yom Shabbos, every day we're counting closer to Shabbos. We're already at the middle point of the week now. We're going to be counting Yom Revi for Shabbos already, and we're already at the end of Yom Revi. We say L'chud and Anana Hashem at the end of the psalm. We say L'chud and Anana because by Wednesday already the light of the Shabbos coming is very much palpable. Yeah, we start to feel it a little bit because it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is already like the 3 points coming up towards Shabbos. Right now we were just bringing the previous Shabbos down into the world, the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now we're heading towards the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're starting to feel the Shabbos come, and that's why we have already a hint of L'chud and Anana, what we're going to sing on Shabbos as we get ready for Kabbalah for Shabbos, to get to that Tshuva Shlema, to get to the Hiroi Tshuva that we get now should manifest fully in the full Tshuva Shlema. And the idea to see the greatness of Klal Yisrael, that we have a Bas Ayin, we're precious to Hashem, and we're great people, that we can do Tshuva, and we can always come back to Hashem any moment. And we're all together, and we're all helping each other, either going and we're having the humility to help each other get up from our struggles and pain and difficulties and fix, all that needs to be fixed. Amen.
Amen.
And then we can live in Eretz Yisrael, b'simcha rabbah. Won't be all these horrible wars. We'll win the war through this, for sure. It's good times.
Good times.
Thank you, Rav Shlomo. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Zevi Shtender. Shir now.